Welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News with me, Toyosi Etim Efyong. My next guest, Lola Daniyan, is a travel blogger, and today we'll be unraveling the numerous amazing destinations she's visited in Nigeria. Welcome to the show, Lola.
Hi, thank you for having me.
It's good to have you here. So Unraveling Nigeria is such a catchy name. I love the name.
Thank you.
How did you come up with it?
I keep saying it just popped in my head. And no one believes me. I remember when I was thinking about starting it off, and I kept thinking that I wanted a word that showed that we were trying to, pretty much cover everything that Nigeria has to offer with tourism. So I kept thinking what word would work with that, and I literally just thought unravel. Okay, so first I thought unravel, but I thought it's a continuous process. So I added the ing. And it became Unraveling Nigeria.
Unraveling Nigeria is so beautiful. So would you say more Nigerians are unraveling Nigeria?
I think now, yes, people are taking the chance, thankfully, and this sounds awful, but because of the Forex situation, people can't travel out as much as they would. So they're looking into now, where can I travel? Where can I take the kids to? Things like that. So it actually works. More people are interested. And I think because we're showing people what the country has to offer, people are like, okay, I didn't know this was here. They're interested in actually seeing these places and just having fun. It doesn't break the bank, so it works.
Yeah. So what exactly do you do?
Okay, so what we do is actually multifaceted, if that makes any sense. We have the blog aspect where we review everything tourism, from food to hotels to tourist attractions, literature, because I keep saying tourism is not just one thing. Tourism includes everything, the people, whatever it is. You travel to a country, people are interested in different things. It might be the cuisine, it might be the tourist attractions, it might be the streets, it might be the music. So on the site we do that. We let you know how to get there, how much it would cost, what you should expect. We put up pictures too, so you have a realistic idea of what you're expecting.
Right.
Now on the other side, we organize tours. So as often as possible, we organize a tour somewhere nice, somewhere where we think people haven't seen. So for instance, we've gone to Kwara, we've gone to Kogi State, Ondo, Kaduna. It's a weekend or 3 days, depending on if a public holiday allows, and then we organize a tour there, take care of your transport, your feeding, your accommodation, and we just show you the sights and sounds.
And what of safety? People feel like outside Lagos, I don't know, they're not sure of their safety. It's not like even in Lagos, they're sure of their safety.
They're scared someone is going to do this.
So what of safety?
I keep saying that the same safety precautions you take anywhere else in the world is what you should apply here. We don't travel at night. We tell people don't be extravagant in your dressing. If the place demands that you dress a certain way, you dress that way. Don't draw attention to yourself. Things like, and it's been good all through. We also make sure that we know a local.
Right.
Someone who knows that we're in town, someone who checks in on us, someone who tells us, don't go here, it's a bit iffy, don't do that, don't do this. So we're very security conscious because, we're responsible for the lives of the people who come on our tours, and we don't want stories about this happening. Even for feeding, we can't just eat anywhere. So we actually ask people, where can we eat? Where would you recommend? So yeah, we do our research before we go anywhere.
Okay, and these locals, are they people that you have vetted?
Yes. Okay. Most of the time, the people who live there, maybe they used to live in Lagos, or they've moved there, or people that we've just come across through life. I usually say you never know when someone will come in handy. So all through my life, I've met people who happen to actually live in some of these places. Yeah. And for instance, I'm from Kogi State.
Okay.
So, taking people there wasn't really too much of a hassle. We had inside information. So yes, there's always someone there. Okay. It might be a friend I knew from high school. It might even be a colleague, who has family there, but they're always vetted people, not just random people.
Okay, and recently I went to Anambra and Enugu State for the first time, and I'm saying as recent as a few weeks ago, and it just occurred to me like there's so much culture and there's so much richness, if that's a word, outside Lagos. And I feel like Lagos
people are very into themselves.
And almost, dare I say, close-minded. But how are you exposing people now to the beauty outside Lagos?
I think that's what the blog aspect of the business does. It shows you what's available outside. There are people in Lagos who have never even been to Ogun State.
Yeah.
Lagos is exactly. So Lagos is it for them.
Right.
Pictures say 1,000 words. So you see a picture and you ask, where is this? Some are even surprised that it's in Nigeria, and then you tell them, and they're like, okay, maybe I should check it out. Are you organizing a trip there soon? Or will you do a private trip for us? So honestly, it's just the blog that sells us. And Instagram is such a good platform to, Instagram is the place of selling your business.
Yeah.
So people see pictures, they see videos, they see that you've gone there. So it's not just some fairy tale that you're selling or a pipe dream. So that's really big.
What's the typical number of your group when you're traveling?
We do small tours, so about 10, a maximum of 10 is what we do. So we can take care of everyone, you know,
and
make sure
everyone,
exactly, so somebody's not running off somewhere.
And what's the demography of people that have taken your tour? Do you find that it's really young people? I find that young people are restless, so I am assuming
mostly
they would
younger people. I mean, on my last tour, I had a slightly older couple. I was happy. It was surprising, but I was happy. But they're usually young people. Young people are the ones that are ready to travel, get on the bus, be a little bit uncomfortable, you know, find the off-beaten track. Young people, yes. And mostly females too.
Mostly females?
Yes. I don't know that guys don't like to travel.
Do you have activities for, or what sort of activities do you even have? Before I now ask if you have activities for older people.
So our tours are cultural, in as much as they're also adventure-based. So now we try to make sure that our tours encompass everything. So you have the culture section where you go and learn about something. For instance, in Kwara, we went to Dada pottery. We could learn how to make pots.
So I can't.
It's fine. It's actually one of the 37 cultural wonders in Nigeria.
There are 37 cultural wonders.
Who knew, right?
Who came up with that list?
Did you come up with that list? I promise you it wasn't.
So it's called
it was
37 cultural wonders. So if I Google that,
you
I
will
will
find it. I promise you. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll be searching that after. Okay.
Exactly. So you know, like older people tend to appreciate things like that, very culture-based. It takes you back in time when you used to sit down and watch people in the villages do things like that. So in as much as we do the whole climbing of a hill or chasing waterfalls, we also make sure that there's a culture aspect. And honestly, if there's something that you want, we're actually open to suggestions, you know. So if people say, oh, you're going here, do you think that we could stop by here? We've heard that this and this goes on there. Yeah, sure. If we can, we incorporate it into the trips.
What's the most fascinating place you've been to in Nigeria?
I think, honestly, I'm not sure. There's so many. Because I go somewhere and I'm like, I can't believe this place exists. Okay, so I've just mentioned it, but I think Dada pottery was amazing.
Dada pottery?
Yes, apparently it's the oldest pottery workshop in the country.
So is it clay pots?
Yes, and it's run just by women.
Ah.
And the technique is passed down from generation to generation.
Right.
Now, what I find intriguing is online, I saw a video of a Chinese potter using the exact same technique that the Dada potters were using. And there were people there watching him, and I just wondered, why aren't people here watching our women, you know, make their pot? It was the exact same technique. It was just beautiful. So, you know, watching her do it, take her time, explaining it to us, I really enjoyed that.
Wow.
It was really good. Yeah.
So where else in Nigeria would you say has been mind-blowing?
I went to Kajuru Castle in Kaduna. I don't know if you've heard about it. It's a German-styled castle. It comes full with the knights in shiny armor, you know, dungeons and everything.
Dungeons?
Yes. It's not a local tourist attraction, but it works. Owu Falls was great. Idore Hills was really good. The view from the top. I mean, the hike was a workout and a half, but it was really good. Kogi State was beautiful. River Niger, River Benue, Mount Patti.
Mount Patti?
Yes.
Gosh, I feel like you're just calling me here right now.
Lord Lugard had his office there, you know, at some point in time. And his wife stood there, and that was where she coined the name Nigeria. Niger area. She could see River Niger and Benue. Yeah, so things like this people don't know about. So it makes us happy to actually be able to tell people this exists or this is where this happened. It's fulfilling.
So at what point do you think, I mean, I'm just thinking now for kids, because if, let's just say the older generation now, they're not really into traveling around Nigeria, but the kids, how do we get them to now start appreciating? I'm even trying to remember social studies now. Did they? I know they taught us some things, but how do we get kids now to really appreciate the culture around Nigeria?
I think excursions need to be done a lot more in school.
I went on excursions.
Yes, exactly. Remember when you were excited to go to, but not just random excursions where these children will learn, where they'll be interested in the country, you know. So take them, it doesn't have to be anywhere far. You can take the kids to Oluma Rock in Ogun State, you know. You can even take them to the National Museum. Just honestly start them young. Let them get into the attitude.
Which National Museum are we talking about now?
That's
the one. Because
they have some artifacts there. Okay. It's not perfect, but it starts. It gives them it gives them, you know, a stepping stone.
Right.
So you remember when you were young and then, oh, I went there, or
I remember seeing Muritala Mohammed's car.
Exactly. That's with all the gunshots.
Exactly. With all the bullet holes.
At least they learn about history from that.
Yes.
You know, there's always something or somewhere that they will learn something. So when you start them that young, then as they grow older, they realize, okay, I remember when I was in school and I went here or there. I mean, the first time I went to Takwa Bay was in secondary school. And that's because we had this man o' war training. So just start them young.
How far do your tours go? So a lot of places you've mentioned now in the west, southwest.
Okay, well, maybe Kogi is the farthest, or should we say Kaduna, depending on
Kaduna
how you're looking at it. Yes.
It's much farther.
Yes, exactly. So we haven't actually touched the southeast,
Okay.
but we've definitely ventured out of the southwest. You know, like I said, you know, Kwara is actually not really a western state. It's actually middle belt, Kogi too, and then Kaduna. We're hoping to do more southeast countries next year. Or logistics.
Logistics and all of
Yes,
that.
exactly.
What would you say are major constraints? I know now you just said logistics. So what exactly in terms of logistics?
Logistics, information, those two, if we could sort it out, it would be fine. So I remember one of the major reasons why I started the site was I would want to go to a place that I wouldn't know where it was, how much it cost. That is also discouraging because you're put off. I mean, if you travel to a country, you really don't need a tour guide, except you need a specialized tour. You could go on Google and
just look.
What's that
website?
Which
one?
one?
The website that like talks about different places in different
sure.
parts of the country.
Right now.
Yeah.
Wait, in Nigeria?
In different countries.
Oh, okay. I was going to say I don't know about the one in
and
Nigeria.
They're like forums.
Yes, exactly. And people talk about it. You know, you can go on TripAdvisor.
That's
you can
the website.
Search, exactly.
That's the website, TripAdvisor.
You search for reviews, you get a general idea. Now, when it comes to Nigeria, there's no general idea. Okay, if I go here, how much do I have to pay? You know, do I have to settle parking or... there's no information. There's a vacuum.
Right.
So that's a big problem. And then logistics. Most of traveling is done by road. The roads are not great. So you end up spending more time than you should. You get to where your destination, you're tired. Now, you know, if the railway was working perfectly, budget airlines, then that would also help to kind of ease it up a little. And then maybe just infrastructure. I can understand why Lagosians are very Lagos-based.
Yeah, because I think it has a lot of infrastructure, like compared to other states and other regions.
But I wouldn't dwell too much on that because that's the point of traveling, seeing how the other half lives. So that's not really for me. I would just stick to logistics and information.
I actually really enjoy traveling. It's a hobby of mine, and I honestly love traveling. What I would like to see
traveled around Nigeria, though?
That's the thing. Traveling around Nigeria is not something, but I think I pride myself on certain places. I've been to quite a number of states and places. I've been to Yankari Games Reserve.
Nice.
That was ages ago, though. But
when it was really good.
Yeah, I've been there.
I know they've revamped it. So.
Yeah, I hear they revamped it. Okay, we'll see. Is there going to be an unraveling, say, West Africa?
We'll see.
Well, we just plan for expansion.
Yes, of course. You know, every business has to expand. So definitely we will be expanding.
Okay.
Of course, our core focus now is just capturing the Nigerian audience and just being the best that we can be.
And there's so many places in Nigeria.
Exactly. Before we even start West Africa. So when we think we're done, you know, then we can branch out to other countries.
Okay, so you talked about the website. So what's the website and what's your social media handle?
It's www.unravelingnigeria.com.
Okay.
For Instagram, it's Unraveling Nigeria. Twitter, it's also Unraveling Nigeria, but we are an NGR because of the character limit.
Right.
Yeah, and on Facebook, it's also Unraveling Nigeria. It's
so
literally
Unraveling Nigeria
everywhere.
NGR?
Yeah, at Unraveling Nigeria.
But
so
Nigeria
it's NGR, exactly.
Right. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
So.
Thank you so much for being here, Lola. You'll be joining us later on Our Take.
Definitely.
Thank you so much. So we have to go on another break now. Stretch your legs, grab a cup of water, because when we come back, we'll still be talking travel. Stay with us.